There is a this one, right? Yeah. Very good evening to all the viewers here in Calgary. As we see, the match has just got underway between St. John's and Knight Riders. St. John's is the team that won the toss and they have elected to bat first. The two openers for St. John's are Arsh and Hussain, and the one opening the bowling for Knight Riders is Shawal. That was a nice ball coming in, just tucked into the onside just for a single. So must-win game for both the teams here after they both lost their opening match of the tournament. That's a very, very good first over going on by Shawal. All teams here try and have a good start. That's a nice shot straight into the boundary line fence. That's a 4. That's a very, very good shot by Arsh over mid-on. Well, that's the kind of start that every team would look at in the first 6 overs to capitalize on the power play. Straight to point by Arsh this time, so it's the first over in progress. Coming up would be the last ball of the over. And that's edged and missed the catch actually. That would have been a very, very good catch at first slip. 2 runs nevertheless coming down. Nice way to begin the first over. 10 runs after the first over, which is a very good start. It would be interesting to see who would be the next bowler for Knight Riders. And not to forget our sponsors. Starting the second over is Kamal. Kamal to Hussain onto the onside, just tucked it away for a single. It looks like Arsh is the one who would be going after the bowling, and Hussain who would be playing second fiddle and just trying to make sure that the strike keeps rotating. Arsh is having a good look at the field. He's trying to have a complete 360 view of the ground. In comes Kamal. Nice shot. He tried to hit it very hard, but it's just for a single. In fact, it's a dot ball, so Hussain sent him back. In comes Kamal again. Straight into the body. Nice bowling. Dot ball again. He's trying to get him out. No. That was good coverage provided by the wicketkeeper behind the stumps. So 3 dot balls on the trot. Once again, Kamal comes in. Tried to cut him away. Again, another dot ball. So the pressure is mounting. The pressure is mounting on Arsh, and we can see that he's trying to cut loose, but he cannot. There are some words coming from him, from Hussain from the other end. So a good over. Knight Riders would be happy with that. Just a single coming off the over yet. And he's missed it again. He's completely missed 5 balls on the trot. And Arsh would have that back of his mind as he gets into the third over. This is Silver. These are all our sponsors. But Karahi Restaurant and Banquet Hall have some delicious food out there. Sherborne with mango nectar as the product. And we have Prep Ultra, who's a broker real estate doing extremely well in Calgary. And not to forget Mun Mortgages. If you're looking for any residential and commercial properties, they are the ones to go to at. Into the third over, Shawal is here, bowling into Arsh. He would be having that. That's a big shot. He's hit that straight. There's a man coming under it, and that's a 6. That's an amazing shot by Harsh. And he's really making the previous over count now with 2.2 overs and 18 runs under the belt. He's done the bulk of the scoring. He's quietly moved on to 15 of 11 balls. That was a very good shot by Arsh, and that'll give him a lot of confidence to move further in the over. In comes Shawal again. This time on the onside. And that's another boundary. So a 6 and a 4. And he's got 11 runs from this over. So as I rightly said just an hour ago, that it looks like Arsh is the one who would take control in terms of scoring, and Hussain would be the one who would do more of the strike rotation, and that's how the way it's going. He's missed the ball completely. Well backed up by the wicketkeeper. So it's been a kind of a mixed over. In comes Shawal again to Arsh. That was a slower one. He's dropped it. The player there has dropped the ball. That would have been a good catch. Last ball of the over. Arsh swings and swings hard and he completely misses it, but he's still got 11 runs from the over. He'll be happy with that. The score has nicely moved on to 22 for the loss of no wickets in 3 overs, which is a good start. Any team would not like to lose any wickets in the power play and try and score 50 to 60 runs easily to really have a strong foundation to move ahead. The bowler who bowled the first over is coming back for another over, or is there going to be a bowling change? Once again, we see a flow of our wonderful sponsors. Without them, this wouldn't have been possible. In comes Kamal again, and Hussain this time has hoisted it, and that's another boundary. So Hussain also displaying his skills on the offside, and he's trying to join the party along with Arsh. It's a nice shot on the onside into the gap. They're running for the first hard and they're coming back for the second. So good running between the wickets, good calling between the batsmen. Well, communication is so much important when you're running between the wickets, especially with these kind of conditions where it's been overcast, could be a little wet out there on the pitch, could be skiddy. They're trying to make the best of it. In comes Kamal, this time to mid-on. Just they move it on nicely for a single. So 7 runs of the over yet in 3 balls, in the first 3 balls. In comes Kamal again, this time to Arsh. He's missed the ball again. They're looking at the umpire for a wide to be signalled. No, says the umpire. Nice shot by Arsh. He's quietly moving around to 25 now of 17 balls. He's doing bulk of the scoring from the 35 in 3.5 overs. And St. John's will not mind that no matter how they come. They want that to come thick and fast. This time on the onside, it's a nice shot there, but there would be a fielder covering it. Yeah, it's not going to go over the boundary line fence. They've taken two. It's a thick outfield there, so it's not going to easily cross the boundary line. 2 runs taken in the over. It's now 37 after 4 overs. And the start is getting better and better. Their current run rate is at 9.25, which is quite good for a T20 game. And here we have our sponsors once again. This is Abid Jahangir, the broker and the owner of the real estate organization Mud Mortgages. If you're looking for any residential or commercial properties, and we have Bhat Karahi with some delicious cuisines. It's a restaurant with a banquet hall, and sponsor Sherborne for its mango nectar. This is a new bowler, Ahmed, who's bowling his first over. This is the 5th over for Knight Riders. And they have conceded 37 for the loss of no wickets. So they would want to add to the wickets column. In comes Ahmed to Hussain. He's played that on the onside. There's a fielder chasing it. And that is a boundary that goes over the lines. That's a good shot by Hussain there. Would not like to begin his spell in that particular manner, but that can happen. It's a gentle lose now. In comes Ahmed again. This time it would be called a wide. It is called a wide. It was way down the offside. In comes the bowler again. This time on the onside. Hussain into the gap. They've taken the first. They were not looking for the second. And that's good to be cautious. They don't want to lose wickets. It's been a good start. They just would like to capitalize on that. In comes Ahmed again. This time to Arsh on the onside. That would be a boundary. It's a nice shot. So they are making it count in the 5th over as well. And Arsh is now on 31 from 19 balls. So that's quick games and quick shots he's played. It's almost 10 runs of the over. There's still 3 balls to go. This is played on the offside. There are players converging on it, trying to make a catch. No, it falls between the players. So he gets a life. Just a single taken, but that was risky. That was a very risky shot. But those kind of risks need to be taken if you want to put your team in a stronger position, and that's exactly what he's trying to do. Fifth ball of the over on the offside. Hussain has hit that. Once again, the players are trying to get a hold of it, but just a single. In fact, they have come back for the second. So good running between the wickets, and that's the 50. That's the 50 for St. John's teams, and they would be happy with that, with one more ball to go in the fifth over. They're really setting it up here for a big total, provided they don't lose their way midway. This time on the back point, and there's a fielder running forward. They've got the first, they're going for the second. 2 runs completed, so 52 at the end of 5 overs. Alak Ganesh is bowling it to Arsh, who has just steered it on for a single. So it's spinner being introduced in the power play, which is quite a brave move by Knight Riders. Well, the captain for Knight Riders will try everything to try and break the partnership, get not just now 1 but 2 wickets, because that's what's going to make the difference. If they're not going to get wickets, then St. John's are going to run away with the match. Towards offside, straight to the fielder. So good field placements also. They're trying to put pressure on the batsman. Yes, of course, it's the power play going on, so just 2 players can be outside the 30-yard circle. Fair enough, but still the positions that we see are quite strategic, and that is keeping the batter in the check. In comes Ganesh again. Once again, just for a single, but they will try and take the second. No, says Hussain. So that was smart. That would have been a run out if they had gone for the second. It's the last over before the power play, so they will try and get the maximum out of here. They know the field will open up after this. 3 more balls in the over. There's no boundary or a 6 come up yet. They will try and target at least one of that area. Arsh, that's a very good ball actually. Not many players on the onside, so a single for the taking was always there. So Ganesh should be happy with the way he's gone about in the over. Comes in again to Hussain. Hussain is trying hard on the onside with less fielders. They have taken the first, but they don't go for the second. Very good over. Very good over considering it is the power play going on, and the way they got to a 50. It's just been 4 singles in this over. Just been 4 singles on the over. In comes Ganesh to Arsh, straight to the fielder, so no runs taken. So that's the end of the power play for St. John's, and they've scored a good 56 runs in the 6 overs. They haven't lost any wickets, more importantly. That's the batting card for you. Arsh has been doing bulk of the scoring with 34 of 23 balls, and Hussain has given him good company with 21 of 13 balls. It's been quick scoring by both of them, and they are putting their team in a very strong position to probably target a big total here. As we know, both teams have lost their games in the mornings, and they would want to have points under their names. This is the bowling card. Shawal 2 overs, none for 21. Kamal 2 overs, none for 16. Ahmed 1 over, none for 15. And Ganesh really doing well with just the 4 runs in the over. He's been the most economical after Kamal, and we would have to see how he moves ahead in the match. How does this next 3 overs come in here? We have Ahmed again. This is the 7th over coming up. That'll be a wide. That's a big wide. Without a doubt, umpire is extending his arms. Bowler needs to get his line and length. Needs to get the rhythm back. Need to bowl wicket to wicket. And that's the only way you're going to get wickets. Nice shot by Hussain. Straight over the bowler's head. Straight to the fielder. They've got a single, but that was a very good shot. In comes Ahmed again. That was an edge. There was no one as first slip, so Arsh gets a life. That was a catch going straight down the throat at first slip. Good shot on the offside this time, and they just get a single. It's been a quiet over so far. Just the wide to begin, and then 3 singles. Oh, that was an inside edge. That was an inside edge for sure. The players go up in appeal. Very optimistic. It was a gentle nod by the umpire. That's good bowling by Ahmed. That's a good comeback. Hussain once again on the onsides. He's trying to split the field there, but no, it doesn't go over the boundary line, and it's been covered. Just a single taken. So it should be the last ball of the over now. It's been a quiet over. In fact, this is the second quiet over since they completed the 50 in the first 5 overs. But they would be okay with that. They will try and keep this until the 10th over maybe, and uh, try and score heavily after that and try and keep more and more wickets. And that's bold. That's an amazing ball by Ahmed. Straight into the stumps. You miss, I hit. Well, that's the saying that comes here. That was the last ball of the over. So the first wicket for St. John's. And Arsh's innings has finally coming to an end. He scored 36 runs of 26 balls with 2 fours and 3 sixes. The strike rate of 138. आठवीं ओवर की शुरुआत. गणेश फिर अटैक पे. बहुत अच्छा पहला ओवर था उनका. चाहेंगे कि कुछ विकेटें मिले. अभी एक विकेट मिला है सेंट जॉन्स को, पर दैट वुड नॉट बी इनफ. वो चाहेंगे कि अपनी टीम के लिए और विकेटें लें. ये बहुत ज़रूरी है कि विकेट चटकाते रहें, तो प्रेशर बना रहेगा बैटिंग टीम पे. एक रन लिया है सूझबूझ के साथ. नए बल्लेबाज हरदीप अब स्ट्राइक पे. देखना होगा वो क्या करना चाहेंगे, क्या मैसेज मिला होगा उनको ड्रेसिंग रूम से. बहुत अच्छी गेंद. सीधे फील्डर के पास कोई रन नहीं. जिस तरीके से उन्होंने उस बॉल को खेला, माना जाता है कि वो भी स्ट्राइक देना चाहेंगे हुसैन को सबसे ज़्यादा. सीधे फील्डर के पास एक और बार तो डॉट बॉल. 3 डॉट बॉल इस ओवर में, 1 रन आए हैं. इस मैच का 8वां ओवर चल रहा है. कोई रन नहीं, कोई रन नहीं. कोई भी नया बल्लेबाज थोड़ा सा सेट होना चाहेगा. 2 से 4 गेंदें तो कोई भी खेले, बॉलर को समझे. बॉल अंदर आती हुई गेंद, नो कनेक्शन, कोई कनेक्शन नहीं हो पाया ये बार फिर। सिर्फ 1 रन मिला इस ओवर में। बहुत ही उम्दा ओवर, क्योंकि जिस तरीके की बल्लेबाजी हो रही थी पिछले 2-3 ओवरों में, अच्छी गेंदबाजी नाइट राइडर्स द्वारा। Into the attack, Mansoor to Hussain. Wow, that was a very smart ball, just around the wide off stump. Batter looked as if it was a wide, but no, and that was fair. Nice shot. Nice shot. He moved it, made room for himself. That was a typical T20 special. Nice shot onto the point, over point, in fact, into the cover region. Just a single taken, so a very good shot, but just a single run taken. Well, that happens in cricket so often, that you play great shots and just get a single or a couple out of it. But that's what keeps you going. This is hit straight back the wicket keeper, the umpire. That was a very good catch. Was Hardeep caught at long off by Mohammad, bowling of Mansoor. He gets a wicket in his first over and he'll be happy with that. So that's the second wicket for St. John's. And after the start they got, that have not a lot of runs that have come, and they have lost 2 wickets. Hussain from the opening pair is still out there, so that should be comforting for the dressing room. Hussain is on 30 of 21 balls. In comes Mansoor with the fifth ball of the over. That looked like to be an inside edge, but no. Nice bowling. He's bowling to the new man Halim. And Halim will try and take a good look at the bowling before he changes his gears. This is the ninth over in progress. Straight to the fielder again, so no runs taken. Just 5 of the over, so fairly good over, but they have lost a wicket. More importantly, they are number 3 batter. And it's up to Hussain now to anchor the innings and take things forward. His third over on the trot. He's bowling good, and that's fair to keep him there. That was hit straight to the fielder, but misfielded, and they get the single out of that. So Ganesh continuing his spell. He's just given 7 runs, and he's into his third over. Interestingly, he's not got a wicket, but he's kept it tight. He's kept it tight from one end while the bowlers from the other end are taking the wickets. This is a big shot on the onside. It's going straight to the fielder, and that's a good catch taken. So Hussain, who had done all the hard work of bringing his team up, has finally lost his wicket. So this has been 3 wickets after they got past the 50. And it's not looking good for St. John's now with 3 wickets down, and just, I think it's happened within 20 runs actually. So that's what Hussain did, 23 balls for 31, 3 boundaries with a strike rate of 134, walking back to the pavilion. It'll be interesting to see how does St. John's move ahead from here. They had a very good start, and now they have lost 3 wickets between 50 and 70, and also 5 overs actually. They had completed 50 in the 5th over. So it's not just the run rate that has been pulled back by Knight Rider bowlers, but also they have picked up 3 wickets. In comes Ganesh again. Cuts it to point, between point and gully. There's a fielder covering it, so won't go to the boundary line fence. So it's 4 runs taken of the first 4 balls, and yeah, still searching for the 6s and 4s. So that has been good bowling by Knight Riders to pull things back, and they have done extremely well in keeping things down. It's a nice big shot by Satwinder. It's up in the air. The fielder has missed it completely, and that's a 4. So a welcome boundary, and that's coming off the bat of Satwinder, who has just gone out to bat out there. So there are 2 new batters who have to start all over again. They have to rebuild their innings for the team and take them to safety. So we are very close to the halfway mark, and they have scored 76. So it looks like 150, 160 is on the cards, but they would like to push that to 180. Nice shot straight back to the bowler. They don't go for the single. That's the end of the over. At the end of 10 overs, it is 76 for the loss of 3 wickets. So that's the batting card. They lost their openers along with the number 3 Hardeep for a duck, but then Halim and Satwinder are now gradually rebuilding the innings for St. John's, and yeah, hoping they would be looking at around that 170, 180 mark with the kind of score they are currently at after 10 overs. And that's the bowling card for you. Ganesh has been extremely economical, 3 overs, 1 wicket. And he's given away 13 runs, and Mansoor has also picked up a wicket and given away 5 runs. So the spinners have done well vis-a-vis the fast bowlers, where Shawal has gone for 21 in 2 overs and Kamal 16 in 2 overs. And Ahmed has taken a wicket, but he's also been expensive with 21 in 2 overs. Nice shot straight to the fielder. The single is taken, so Mansoor is continuing his bowling now. And it'll be interesting to see how they will play Mansoor. The spinners have actually done well. In fact, the umpire has singled that for a 6. So Satwinder is trying to cut loose. And interestingly, he's chosen this one straight to the fielder. That's out. That's a nice ball, upish into the body. All the batter tried to do is dab it away, and he hit that straight to the fielder, straight down the throat. Satwinder is out. St. John's loses their 4th wicket. They're trying to up the ante, and that's what happened. So that was quick score of 12 from 5 balls, but he's lost his wicket. That was a 4 and a 6 there. He showed intent. He showed the desire to take his team to a stronger position, and in the bargain has lost his wicket. New batter is Kinder. Fairly new. He's just played a couple of matches and scored 23 runs. So he will be tested. Because now with 4 wickets down, St. John's will be in two minds whether they should go for a kill in terms of scoring, or they should try and contain themselves and try not to lose any further wickets. In comes Mansoor again, hit between point and gully. That was a nice gap between point and gully taken. They have taken the first, they don't go for the second. In comes Mansoor again. It was a cut shot. That was around that third slip. Ball goes straight to the fielder there. It's a dot ball. But they've got a 6 of the over and a couple of singles, so 8 runs of the over. This over has been fairly productive in comparison to the last 5 overs, I would say. This time on the offside between the gap. There's a man covering it. They take a couple. So good running between the wickets here. Score nicely moves on to 86 after 11 overs. It's Halim who's got 4 and Kinder at 1. So yeah, again 2 new batters trying to rebuild, trying to score for the team, take their team into a stronger position. So Ganesh here will be bowling his 4th over. And he's bowled 4 overs on the trot. That's another wicket down. He's hit that straight to the fielder, straight down the throat. So wickets are tumbling. Wickets are tumbling thick and fast. 5 wickets within 30 to 35 runs, and that's not good news for St. John's. So Ganesh gets his 2nd wicket. This is his 4th over and he's just gone for 13. Extremely economical. He's troubled the batters and the spinners have made the difference. Yes, the spinners from Knight Riders have made all the difference between the match. Like how the match began in the first 5 overs and then how things have changed since then. Yeah, once again straight to the fielder. Squarish long off position. 2 dot balls and a wicket, so Well, if it's a maiden wicket, then it's going to be an amazing over. Again, another dot ball. He's really bowling it well. He's keeping it tight. Sham Sundar is the new batter. He would have a good look at the ball. He knows his team is half the team is back in the pavilion, so they've got to be cautious. They've got to now target to play 20 overs here and not get bowled out, because that's the dilemma. That's the doubt they would always have. Try and play the full quota of 20 overs and get to 140, 150, the minimum, after the kind of start they had. He's missed it completely, and that's bowled. So another good wicket. Another great ball by Ganesh, and he's having a dream spell. This is his third wicket with one more ball to go. It's the end of the over actually. So 2 wickets in the over, and he's picked 3 in total. So that's Halim, who was just batting in his third match, and managed to score 4 runs of 7 balls, and he's back in the pavilion. So St. John has lost their 6th wicket now, and it's not looking good. They've got to find a way where they can play the full quota of 20 overs and try and get as many runs on the board to defend, something for their bowlers to defend. Aryan is the next batter in. Seems like to be experienced. He's played 286 matches. So score is 87 for 6 after 12 overs. Sham Sundar, and now joined with Aryan. The bowler is Mansoor into his third over. He's picked up 2 wickets for 15. The batter gently pushed it towards point. No runs taken. Again, another good ball. The batter is looking at the umpire for a wide. The nod comes in. That's smart bowling. He's keeping it tight. He's keeping it within the line and confusing the batter actually. The batter will be in 2 minds whether to go for the shot or no with that kind of a line. Once again a teasing line. That's excellent bowling by Mansoor. He's frustrating the batter. It's 3 dot balls in the over now. So that's straight to the fielder. They will just get a single. They're trying to look in for the second, but in comes the throw. So good fielding there. So that was for Sham. Now it's over to Aryan facing the first ball of the match. He's hit that straight to the fielder and scampering for a single. That was tight. A direct hit, and he would be back to the pavilion. Nice ball into the legs. Again, just a single. So after 3 dot balls, 3 singles taken, the score has moved on to 90. quietly getting close to the three-figure mark. St. John's would not like to lose wickets at least for the next 3 to 4 overs before they think of giving it a charge in the last 3 to 4 overs. That will give them something to bowl at. So new bowler Taib hit that over long off, straight to the fielder. Single taken. So introducing a new bowler in the 14th over of the match. My Knight Riders. Interesting to see how would he take things further from there. Full toss. He plays it on the full toss on the onside between the players there. They got the first. Would they be going for the second? No. In comes the throw. So two singles in the over. And this one is again. Another dot ball. St. John's will be happy with that now, considering they're not losing wickets. End of the over, just three singles came from it. Score has moved on to 93 for 6 after 14 overs. So Mansoor is now into his final over. He's taken a couple of wickets for 18. He's been economical. Yes, I think it's the spinners who's made the difference to the team. They have really bowled well. Ganesh, Mansoor, they've kept it tight. They've been economical. They have picked wickets. They've brought their team back after the Pacers went for a plenty. Once again, tight line. Not much that the batter can do. 15th over in progress. Three dot balls here. What's going in Sham Sundar's mind? Is he going to go and play the big shot? Is he going to play the big shot? No. Once again, another dot ball. Four dot balls here. That would have been a wide actually. The batter just nudged at it on the leg side and has just taken the single. I think he just wanted to get off strike. Sham Sundar, he's got the second single and over to Aryan for the last ball of the over. Nice shot on the offside. In between the covers and the point region, they get a single. So two singles makes it 95 for 6 after 15 overs. Taib into his second over. It's a single taken of the first ball, so even he's keeping it tight. He's gone for 3 runs on the first over. That would be a wide. That's a big wide. So that would help St. John's. They're getting close to the 3-figure mark. In comes Taib again. Missed it completely. This is back past the umpire actually. They are just walking for a single, so the intent to score is also fairly low. They're really not looking to push the fielders. They're really not looking to convert the ones into twos. Nice shot over long on. That should be a 6. We'll have to wait for the umpire's confirmation. So a 6 coming in after long overs. It's been a long wait for that 6 to come, but good shot by Aryan. That shows intent. That shows the determination to get at close to 140, 150. It would be difficult, but they have themselves to blame to be in that kind of a position. Nice shot down the track. That's gone up, and it's a nice catch taken. So Aryan, who was showing intent, has also lost his wicket, and Taib gets his first wicket. That's the 7th wicket down for St. John's. So Taranpreet is the new batter walking in. He's played 5 matches, so fairly new to business. And he'll be joining Sham Sundar. It'll be nice to see how things move further from here. Final ball of the over. Apart from the six, there has not been any other big score in the over. They've lost another wicket, more importantly, and that only puts them in a difficult spot. That's the end of the over. 104 for 7 after 16 overs. That's another wicket down. Sham Sundar returning back to the pavilion. So hopes of St. John's going deeper and deeper. I guess the next goal should be the play out the next 20 overs and try and get the maximum out of that. Umang is the next batter. This is probably the first match, so he's doing his debut here. The scorecard doesn't look very promising after they had got to a 50 for the loss of no wickets in the fifth over, and here where they are. The next 50 has taken them 11 overs and they have lost 8 wickets. So St. John's have been completely derailed by the Knight Rider bowlers. We have another new bowler here, Arsalan, who's bowling his first over and he's picked up the wicket. That would be a wide. That's a big wide. Nice bowling, bowling a tight line here. So a wicket, a wide, and 2 dot balls. Good bowling by Arsenal. That's a teasing line. He's hit that big on the onside. There's a fielder covering it. They get a single. The score has slowly moved on to 106. In comes Arsalan again. He's hit that straight to the fielder. So Taranpreet and Umang, it's up to them now how to take the next 3.1 overs, and they will try and score at least another 20-25 runs from it. He's hit that straight to the fielder. He's misfielded it, but there's someone covering behind. The batter scamper for a single. loss of 8 wickets after 17 overs, and yeah, St. John's will be happy with another 20-25 runs. If they can add to this, then they will put that on the board, and their bowlers will have something to defend. Taib takes another wicket. He's bowled the batter out, Tharanpreet here with a full toss on the off stump. So that's the 9th wicket down for St. John's. So the last two batters for St. John now at the crease, Harshit and Umang. I'm sure the message is loud and clear to play out the 20 overs. Taib is coming in here. This time on the onside over the fielder. They got the first, they're going for the second. So now we see the intent to score runs, as many as they can come. That would be a wide. So the St. John's team has been bowled out for 110, and that's going to be a tough score to defend for them against Knight Riders. So the last wicket was Harshit, who was stumped, and he had scored a couple of runs, and that's the batting card. So apart from Arsh at the top and Hussain, they both look promising. There was no one else who really kept the scorecard ticking. The intent there to bring the score up. It'll be interesting to see the bowling card because the spinners have done extremely well. And there we see it was Shawal Khan who bowled 2 overs for 21 and Kamal 2 overs for 16, and Ahmed also picked up a wicket for 2 overs for 21, but it was the spinners after that, which was Ganesh 4 overs for 14 for 3 wickets, Mansoor Bhatt 4 overs for 22 wickets, and Taib 2.3 overs for 15 and 3 wickets taken. And Arsalan at the end picked up also another he conceded in the one over he bowled. So out and out, it looks like the spinners dominated and they pulled the match back. And it'll be interesting to see if St. John has that kind of quality spinners to pull the team and pull the match back. So that's the Knight Rider innings underway. The first one was a couple of runs for a bye, and another one, again, another couple of runs. So, 4 runs of the first 2 balls. Mohammed is the one who's on strike. That would be again down the leg side. It's a wide call by the umpire. So, not a good start by Om Prakash. He's the one who has began with the proceedings for Knight Riders, for St. John's. And the openers for Knight Riders are Harkirat Singh Nagra and Mohammed. We all know how flamboyant Harkirat can be, and it'll be exciting to see him on strike. That was a wild swing outside the off stump. The batter is looking at the wicket key at the umpire in anticipation for a wide, but more importantly, it's a dot ball. St. John's will be searching for wickets, especially in the power play. They would at least look at 3 to 4 wickets in the power play itself if they have any chances to contain the Knight Riders from scoring 111 to win. That's hit the pad, so it would be leg byes as the umpire walks away and signals for leg byes. So the first 4 balls of the over, and Knight Riders have scored 6. We have Harkirat Singh Nagra for the first time on strike in the match. Having a good look at the field, and St. John's will be aware of how flamboyant he is with the bat. If he gets going, this match can be over fairly quickly. In comes Om Prakash to Harkirat. Nice shot into the covers, into the play. The placement was good, but just a single taken. He'll be happy with that. Sometimes these small targets can be quite teasing and can just want you to play a bit quicker, just try and get your net run rate up. But you got to be careful in the bargain, not lose wickets and eventually lose the match. So they will want to be watchful for the first 2 to 3 overs. And once they know the surface, they've got used to the conditions, they will try and explode. That'll be a wide. That's a big wide by Om Prakash. So he needs to get his line right. This is the second extra of the over, and you cannot have so many extras when you're just defending 110. It's already 8 runs on the board. You need wickets, you need to contain runs, and that's going to be scoreboard pressure. In comes Om Prakash again. Big shot on the onside by Mohammed, but straight to the fielder. They just take a single and they'll be happy with that. That's the end of the first over. The score is 9 for no loss after the first over. Second over would be by Taranpreet. And Harkirat is on strike now for the second over. It's 10 runs on the board for the loss of no wickets. And Knight Riders would be careful about that. They would be happy. Watchful, very watchful. Yeah, they would be watchful for the first 2 to 3 overs maybe. And try and take it from there. So Taranpreet and the team and the other bowlers straight back past the bowler, but they are not going for the single. There was almost a collision there between the non-striker and the bowler. And what is interesting to see is that it's a spinner bowling the second over for St. John's. So they have their tactics in place. They know the spinning. This is a spinning track. This time on the offside, straight to the fielder. Long off it went to, and just a single taken as the ball comes back. So Harkirat has not got his first boundary or a six yet, but yeah, he would be looking at that. In comes Taranpreet. That's on the onside. Coming up is the last ball of the over. Straight pass back past the umpire. He's bisected long on, long off, but it's going to be cut out. Just the 1 run taken, so a fairly better over for St. John's in comparison to the first over, but it's still 13 runs on the board. Om Prakash into his second over. It's the third over of the match, so he would want to improve from where he bowled the first over. Wickets is the key. If Knight Riders don't lose wickets in the power play, they're going to make it there. And that's bowled. That's clean bowled. So that's the first wicket. And Harkirat has lost his wicket. He missed the line completely, and this middle stump is knocked out of the ground. And Om Prakash will be happy with that. He's given the breakthrough St. John's needed, and it's the big wicket of Harkirat Singh Nagra. Just managed to score 3 runs today from the 7 balls. But he's got lots of experience, lots of talent. And there would be other matches to showcase that. So Om Prakash with the ball will try and probably if you can get one, you can get two. That's how it goes in cricket. We have Ali on strike now. It'll be interesting to see how he takes things forward. He cuts it on the offside between point and gully. Takes it gets a single out of it. That was a fairly good shot, but full toss. And that is something that Om Prakash would not like to bowl. He would like to bowl full and straight. Try and hit the deck as many Yorkers as possible. "14 runs and Knight Riders have lost a wicket. So St. John's will be happy with that and they will want more. It's wickets that will put pressure on Knight Riders. Good shot on the offside and that will be a boundary. It is a boundary. Good shot by Mohammad. He has to get the scorecard moving. Well, sometimes when the runs don't come and they dry out, it only builds pressure, and that's probably what happened to Harkirat. He had scored 3 runs from 7 balls and may just have wanted to score more. Just was not his day today. In comes the bowler again. Yeah, could not pierce the gap here. Just gets a single. That's not exactly where Mohammad would have wanted to hit that, but nevertheless, he's got the one. He's got the 1 run. He's got the board moving. It's 20. It's 19, and the last ball of the over is coming up. Nicely played on the offside, straight to the fielder. No runs taken, so that's a dot ball. So it's 6 runs coming up of the over, and the score has now moved on to 19 for 1 after 3 overs. Well, Knight Riders know if they play 20 overs, they're going to win the match, and St. John's know that too. So they have to keep picking wickets. So Mohammad is the wicket lost. He hit that in the air and that was caught by substitute Asif off Taranpreet. So it's going to be a second wicket for Taranpreet, and well, he just scored 10 runs there. 10 runs of 10 balls. So Harmandeep is the new man joining Ali, and they will want a partnership now because 2 wickets are down. It's 20 runs on the board. They can't keep losing wickets. It's not a big total to chase. Taranpreet has picked up his first wicket of the first ball of his second over. He's appealing for an LBW there. And down the leg side, says umpire. So they're putting pressure on the batters. It's a small target, and that's the reason why I was saying that these small targets can be tricky. You think you can do that, and you lose wickets, and suddenly you're in a spot of bother in terms of how you can take the match ahead from there. Wow, this time for the edge of the bat, but while the umpire has been cool and composed about it, Taranpreet, who's been appealing along with the fielders around, so there's a lot of teamwork going on there by St. John's. They're trying to put pressure as much as possible on Knight Rider batters. That's placed on, swept it on the onside. There's a fielder chasing it. They got the first. They're going back for the second. That will complete it comfortably. So 2 runs to Harmandeep. Remember, we are in a fourth over. They really don't need to score at even 6. They can score at 5.5 and still win the match. So they are up there with an run rate at 5.7. Nice ball, nice ball. It's almost yorked it. And Harmandeep managed to get his bat down in time. And that's Taranpreet. So that's the end of the over. The score is 21 for 2 after 4 overs. And here we have our sponsors, but Karahi, Sherborne, Prep Ultra, who's the broker and the owner. And we have Mun Mortgages for residential and commercial properties. And without the support of these lovely sponsors, this tournament wouldn't have been possible. So yeah, it's a big shout out and a big thank you to these sponsors for supporting the tournament, and it's been wonderful. The weather has been holding up. All matches have been going well. We've got results in matches. That's what's more important. He'll be bowling the 5th over for St. John's. Nice shot on the onside. It'll be interesting to see if the ball could get past the boundary line. No, it stops, so they keep running. 3 runs taken. So as we all know, it's a lush outfield there, and batters need to run hard for it, and Knight Riders are making the best of it while chasing a small target. They know every run counts. This time on the offside, and that's an amazing catch taken, looks like. Yes, that's a 3rd wicket down. That's a wonderful catch taken there by the fielder. That's a 3rd wicket down for Knight Riders. So that wicket sends Harmandeep back to the pavilion. It was a wonderful catch by Rishi. Again, another substitute fielder. And the wicket goes to Sham Sundar. So, well, St. John's are making it difficult for Knight Riders here. They have lost their top order. And this match looks like now would be going down to the wire. It's going to become a very interesting match from here. 24 for the loss of 3 wickets. We are in a 5th over. So Sham Sundar in his first over itself has taken a wicket, and every wicket here is going to help his team to win the match. They don't have a lot of runs on the board, so they don't have a big total to defend. But if they can keep chipping away the wickets, it's going to make all the difference. Well, the batter actually left it anticipating for a wide, but umpire says no. In comes Sham Sundar again. Straight to the fielder, so no runs taken. So they're building the pressure with dot balls. And Knight Riders will feel that. It's just 2 runs in the over. And we are still in the power play, and they've even lost a wicket here. Hit that on the onside. The ball is running away to the boundary line fence. There's a fielder cutting it. He's got one, and it's a couple of runs taken. So that's good, accurate, and sharp fielding. And Knight Riders are collecting the runs as much as possible. Another 2 taken after the first ball that where they ran had for the 3. So 5 runs of the over yet, which is good. Nice ball, nice ball. It was right on the stumps. You hit, I miss. The run rate is 5.2. So the run rate is looking okay. It's the wickets column which is a worry for Knight Riders. They have lost their top order, as we know, 26 for the loss of 3 wickets. Hit that straight to the fielder again. Nice shot, but no runs. And this can be very frustrating for a batter of a quality like Ali. It was a nice shot, but he hit that straight to the fielder. And that ends up in a dot ball. This is Aryan now into his first over. So the Knight Riders are mixing it, and they're mixing it very nicely. They're not allowing the batters to get used to a particular bowler. And that's very, very important. He's missed it completely. There's a big appeal for LBW. They are all asking the umpire. He's unmoved. So that's good start for Aryan. 2 dot balls. Is it that straight back to the bowler? So dot ball number 3. This is pressure. This is pressure now rising on the Knight Rider batters. Just 110 to get, but they are making heavy weather out of it. The St. John batters may not have done the job, but the bowlers are doing it and they're doing it nicely. Straight to the fielder again. So good bowling backed up with exceptional fielding. 4 dot balls. We are in the 6th over. That's the last over of the power play. St. John's had crossed 50 at 5.4 overs, whereas Knight Riders have scored just half the runs. So that's good bowling by St. John's. Hit that on the onside, straight to the fielder again. That's another catch taken. Another wicket goes down. 4 wickets for Knight Riders, and they're not looking good at all. That's not good thinking. There is not a lot of runs required, and they can just contain and play the ones and twos, but they're playing the big shots and losing their wickets. 26 for the loss of 4 wickets now. It's Ali now who walking back to the pavilion. He scored 4 runs of 8 balls, couldn't get moving. So it's going to be interesting to see what tactics would Knight Riders take from here on. So the new batter is Norman joining Arsalan. Last ball of the power play, unorthodox shot. Hit it on the onside but could not get past the fielder. No runs. It's a maiden wicket. It's a maiden over with a wicket by Aryan. That is excellent to begin with the first over. 26 for the loss of 4 wickets in 6 overs. And that's the batting card. The openers lost their wicket quickly. Mohammad for 10, Harkirat for 3, Ali Khan for 4, and Harmandeep for 2. So there's no one who has really stood up there. It's now up to Arsalan and Norman and the batters to follow, who need to score the rest of the runs in 14 overs to get past over the line. It will be an interesting match from here. The power play is done. And that's the bowling card. It's Om Prakash who gave away 12 runs in 2 overs and a wicket. Taran Preet 2 overs and 6 runs and a wicket. Sham Sundar an over 5 runs and a wicket. And Aryan Sharma also bowled an over. In fact, that was a maiden over for a wicket. So yeah, that's how the wickets fell. 13, 19, 24 and 26. And that doesn't look very good for Knight Riders at the moment. Sham Sundar will now be bowling his second over. Nice ball. That was a nice slower ball by Sham Sundar. Arsalan managed it straight to the fielder again. So they're not really able to pierce the field. They are hitting the ball straight to the fielders, and that is what is restricting them for the singles. Even this one, as we see. I'm sure there are some nerves going around the dressing room for Knight Riders, and that is having an effect on all of their batters. And that's a fifth wicket down. He's hit that in the air again. Arsalan this time. Frustration as he throws his bat away. Sham Sundar picks up the second wicket. St. John's out of nowhere are making it to have points on the points table under their name. They only could manage 110 and now have Knight Riders 26 for 5 in the 7th over. The run rate is down to 4. Arsalan scoring a couple of runs from 7 balls, so none of the batters are really have got going. They've all been in single digits, and that's how the scorecard looks. So apart from Mohammad, nobody else has got into double digits. You still need 85 runs from 13.3 overs, which is almost at a run a ball, so it's doable as far as they don't lose wickets. This is Sham Sundar's second over, and he's picked up another wicket. Straight to the fielder again. Yeah, it's Shawal who's joined Norman, and it's up to the bowlers now how they are going to take things further from here. That'll be a wide. Yeah, it is a wide. The umpire signals it after a moment. But that's how it goes. So extras for Knight Riders, and they'll take it. They'll take it the way it comes. The scoreboard moves to 28. Straight into the batter's body. That's a very, very good ball. On the off stump and around there. It's been good bowling by St. John's bowlers. They're bringing their team back into the match. They picked up wickets. They didn't give away easy runs. It's another slower ball. The batters are trying to run for a single, and they get that. So that's a smart running there. They are now moved on to 30 for 5 after 7 overs. And here we have our sponsors, without whom this tournament wouldn't have been possible. So that's Prep Ultra, the broker and owner, Abid Jahangir, silver sponsor, Mun Mortgages, any residential commercial properties, though they are the ones to go to. Delicious Cuisine by Bhat Karahi. And we have Sherborne with the mango nectar and juices. So yeah, these are all our lovely sponsors, and without them this wouldn't have been possible. We have Aryan now bowling his second over. He's still not given a run, and he's taken the wicket as he bowled a maiden wicket over. In comes Aryan again. Completely missed by the batter. I think Shawal was just trying to connect and go for a single there. This is the 8th over in progress. Run rate 4.19. He's missed it again. So Shawal is not getting the length and line of the ball. And that's not good news. Now, few words by the batter. Norman giving him some piece of advice, some words there in terms of how he can probably handle Aryan. Two dot balls again. Pressure is mounting. This time Shawal connects, nudges it on the onside. They're coming back for the second. 2 more runs added to the tally. Every drop counts. This is being a low-scoring game, and it's wonderful to see the second team fighting. They have put the batting team under pressure by taking 5 wickets and just given away 32 runs. This is the 8th over in progress. Straight back to the bowler again. It's been hard for Shawal to connect and score. He's not able to rotate the strike and give it to Norman, who can probably hit a few 4s and 6s here and there and get some runs moving, get the scoreboard moving. Again, it's a full toss, and that's another wicket. That's another wicket down for Knight Riders. Another good catch taken. This is the 6th wicket, and Aryan has picked up his 2nd wicket. All right, here we have Aryan. So the Knight Rider batters are not getting it in the middle of the bat. That's the end of another good over for him. 2 runs given and another wicket taken. 32 for the loss of 6 wickets after 8 overs. The run rate of 4. Two runs taken. 2 runs taken from the first ball of Sham Sundar. The score now moves on to 34. Knight Riders find themselves in a big hole and they've got to bring them out of it. Almost edged it. Almost edged it again. So it's a good ninth over going on. That'll be a wide. It's a rare wide by the St. John's bowlers. They have been very, very disciplined. In fact, I don't recall any no ball either by the Knight Rider bowlers and now by the St. John bowlers. So they've been very, very careful and watchful in terms of that. And in comes Sham again. Straight to long on, straight to the fielder. So just a single taken. Score is now 36 for 6. We are in our ninth over. Sham Sundar has picked up a couple of wickets. He's in his third over. Straight to the fielder again, but they get the single out of that. So there is good communication between the batters now moving. Nauman and Kamal. They are communicating well. They are running the ones and the twos and they're keeping the scoreboard moving. And that is what you want. You don't want to get stuck. The score is now 37. That would have been a wide ball. That would have been another wonderful catch. St. John's catching has been exceptional today. Hit that on the long off. There's a fielder there, but doesn't carry. Just a single taken. So 39 for the loss of 6 wickets after 9 overs. We have Aryan now bowling his third over. He's been very, very successful in the first 2 overs. He's given away 4 runs in 2.1 overs and taken 2 crucial wickets. Arvian is bowling another wonderful over here. 5 runs coming up of the first 3 balls. They haven't given a lot of boundaries or the big sixes. They're keeping the batter down. It's 44 for 6 after 9.3 overs. The run rate is nicely at 4.6, which is not what the run rate they want to be at. They want to be around 5.55 and around 6. In comes the throw. It's a wild throw over the pitch, but the batters take a couple of runs. And suddenly the score is now getting close to 50 at the end of 10 overs, which means Knight Riders will believe that they can still do it. It's just at a run a ball. Nice shot towards long off, straight to the fielder, single taken. But that should be the order of the day for the next 10 overs. They need to get the ones and twos because that'll put some pressure on the St. John's bowlers as well, that they can make a match out of it. Straight to the fielder again, just a single taken. End of the 10th over, it's 48 for 6. So some good runs have come at this point of time. So that's the batting card. It's still just Mohammed who scored a 10, and then everybody is in single digits. But Nauman and Kamal are looking promising, and they are looking to score. It is 63 runs needed from 10 overs, which is doable, provided they don't lose their wickets. They need to keep these wickets for the next 5 to 6 overs and try and get close. That's the exceptional bowling card we will now see for Knight Riders. Om Prakash took a wicket from 2 overs. Taranpreet took 1. Sham Sundar and Aryan are the pick of the bowlers who picked 2 wickets and they bowled 3 overs each. Fairly economical, everybody, but the most economical was Taranpreet at 3 runs per over. And in a T20 game, I think any run rate below 6 will always be making the captain very, very happy. That's how the wickets fell. That's a new bowler. Umang is cut that, and that ball has gone to the boundary line fence. So a boundary after a long time, and Knight Riders would be really happy with that. Has quickly jumped now. For a long time they were in the 30s, but they have quickly moved on to the 40s and now into the 50s. This is the 11th over in progress. This is a new bowler, Umang, in his first over. In fact, just 2 balls and he's given away the boundary. So the pressure will release. Not able to score the boundary for a long, long time. It's an inside edge again. Onto the pads, no runs taken. Dot balls will bring the pressure. Batters don't want to dot ball. They want to keep rotating the strike, the ones and the twos. $52 for 6. Big shot on the offside. This is again going to be looking towards the boundary line fence. It's been cut off by the fielder. The batters have scampered for a couple of runs. And it will remain at a couple of runs. So 6 runs from the first 4 balls. And it suddenly looks all good now for Knight Riders. That's another good shot by Kamal into the gap. Good fielding there, just a run taken. They won't try and go for the second. But what's more important is the runs are coming, the scoreboard is moving, and Knight Riders is getting close to 110. They are at the halfway mark from chasing 111. 55 have been scored in 11 overs with 1 ball to go. That would be a dot ball. So they need to score another 56 runs from 54 balls, and if they don't lose wickets for the next 4 or 5 overs, we have an interesting finish to this game. Harshit has the ball in his hands. He'll be bowling his first over of the match. So St. John's is nicely mixing the bowlers. Kamal hits it straight to the fielder, just takes a single. .56 for the loss of 6 wickets. This time on the onside, just a single again. There's a fielder to cut it off. So Kamal and Norman are now doing it nicely for Knight Riders. There's finally a partnership beginning to build. That's a big shot played by Kamal. Hit that straight to the fielder. He's got the run, but that was a nice shot. 3 singles have come up of the over. It's another single, so 4 singles. So runs are coming. They're coming slowly, but they're coming, and Knight Riders will be happy with that. He's missed it completely here. Norman wanted the single. Kamal sent him back. So it's a dot ball, but after 4 singles of the overs, so the last ball is coming up. It's a big shot played. There's a fielder there. He's not going to cut it off. That's a boundary. So good shot. Good shot by Kamal. He's been really batting well. The score would now move on to 63 for the loss of 6 wickets after 12 overs. And the run rate you see now is jumping up. It had gone down to 4.2. It's now come up to 5.25. And that's exactly what Knight Riders need. They need a run rate of 5.5 to win the match, and they're doing it nicely here. 6 overs, of 8 overs at a run rate of 6. So it's a runner ball, 48 needed of 48. And Kamal is doing it nicely for Knight Riders. He's on 21 of 16. And Norman is giving him good company, who scored 10 runs from 11 balls.
Everything good,
So St. John's brings their premier bowler back, Taranpreet. Picked up the wicket initially. This is his third over. But what's more important, he's been economical with just 7 runs from 2.1 overs. From T20 standards cricket, that is exceptional bowling. It's a big shot played by Kamal again. And that's a boundary. So the runs are coming. It's now 68 for the loss of 6 wickets. And St. John's needs to quickly do something about this because Kamal and Norman are running away with the match. "68 for 6. That would be buys. They've got the first. They're coming back for the second. It's runs for Knight Riders. They won't matter how they come, as far as they come. So we just happened to lose the wicket of Kamal in between here, and he was the one who was taking in charge of the score. If there was any chance of Knight Riders getting to 111, it was Kamal who was doing it nicely. But we have Norman here, and he can still hit the ball well. Ahmed has actually joined him. The score is 71 for 7 after 13 overs. And Taranpreet gets another wicket. In 3 overs, he's taken a couple of wickets and just conceded 14 runs. That's a wide ball. So 39 needed from 7 overs at a run rate of 5.57. Couldn't really pierce the field, but still campered through for a single. We have Harshit into his second over. He's not taken a wicket. He's given away 10 runs. The Knight Riders now need 37 runs in 40 balls. They have lost 7 wickets, but Norman is out there and he has just given some advice for Ahmed in terms of probably how we can go take it further from there. In comes Harshit. It was a big shot, but there was a nothing shot. It's just there. It's a dot ball more importantly, and every dot ball is going to put pressure on Knight Rider batters. Once again, straight to the fielder, but they get the single. So the running has been good. The calling has been good between both the batters. It's a misfield by the fielder and they get 2 runs for it. So the score moves now to 77 for the loss of 7 wickets. It's going to be the last ball of the 14th over. Back past the bowler towards long off. Taranpreet into his final over. He's the one who's taken a couple of wickets and he's been fairly economical. He's just conceded 15 runs. Will try and break through and get another wicket here before he finishes his spell. It's been a dream spell. Nice ball. Just kept it there down. The wicketkeeper is trying to get the stumps down. The batters are running for the second year. In fact, they get the two. Every run counts and it's getting them closer to the target. 1-1-1. $81 for 7. They now need 30 runs from 33 balls. This can be anybody's game. Nicely played towards long on. Just a single. Flicked it off his pads. They've got the first, they're going for the second, they're going for it. That's a very good run taken. They may even go for the third. No, says the batters. So another 2 runs. It now moves on to 84. Last ball of the over coming up. In fact, the last ball for Taranpreet's spell. He would love to finish it with a wicket. Norman has flicked it off his pads again for a single. Will they be looking for the second? No. So the score now moves on to 85, which means Knight Riders need 26 runs from the last 5 overs. And as I rightly mentioned, this can be anybody's game. New bowler is Kinder. And it's interesting St. John to introduce a new bowler in the 16th over. Knight Riders need 26 in 5 overs. Nice shot straight back to the bowler. Dot ball. That builds pressure. But Norman can handle it. He scored 19. So he's been there for a while and he can do it. He's the man. Into the covers for a single. That's a wild throw. They've got the first. Will they go for the second? No. So that's good thinking. You cannot get excited. It's getting tight. It's getting close. 25 runs now needed from 28 balls. Just another gentle push again into the covers for a single. So score is moving nicely along. The Knight Riders may have lost 7 wickets. but their body language doesn't show that. They are here to win the match. This time on the onside, it's a nice shot. The ball is running away to the boundary line fence. In fact, it crosses. So that's a welcome boundary. The score moves to 91 with just 20 runs now needed from 4.2 overs. This match is heading for a tight finish and would go down right down to the wire. This time on the towards long off, there's a fielder there to cut it off. They just go for a single. It's probably be the last ball of the over, so probably Ahmed can handle that. And then the strike would be back to Norman. 92 for 5 in 15.5 overs. That's a very good single taken. The ball was right there. Good calling, good communication between both batters. Score is now 93 for 7 after 16 overs. And we have Aryan here. He's been the pick of the bowlers, in fact the best from St. John. 3 overs, just 11 runs and 2 wickets. Nice ball onto the pads. They're still running for the single. That's a very good single taken. That would be a leg by, but it doesn't matter how it comes. Knight Riders move to 94. I guess the moment they get past the 3-figure mark, everyone in the dressing room would be right on the boundary line. Nice shot by Nauman on the offside. He's hit that between two players and they scamper two for a couple. So that takes them to 96. He's doing it nicely here. Nauman is doing it nicely and giving him company is Ahmed. 96 for the loss of 7 wickets. And he's bowled him. He's completely bowled him. That was a cheeky shot to play and Nauman has lost his wicket. He was playing so well, taking his team home. And this match has now turned. This match has now turned in favour of St. John's as Knight Riders lose their 8th wicket. Those were 27 valuable runs of 25 balls with the help of a boundary. But that was not one of the best shots to play at that particular scenario. He had to keep the basics there, just keep it simple, take the ones and twos, get as close to 1-1-1 the target. Mansoor is the new batter coming in, and this looks difficult now with the two bowlers at the crease. This now game has tilted in favour of St. John's. So it was finally Aryan who's given the breakthrough. Knight Riders still need 15 runs. They have 21 balls to do it, but they just have 2 wickets, and it's up to the bowlers if they can do it. This is going to be an interesting finish, but Norman was the key. He had to be there for Knight Riders till the end. He lost his wicket at a crucial time. There's some kind of clarification between the umpire along with the square leg umpire. Almost got his wicket there again. That was an excellent ball by Aryan on the leg stump. That missed everything and hit the wicket keeper. But the batters have gone for a single, so it's runs still coming. They move now to 97. 2 more balls left for Aryan, and he would love to take 2 wickets and wrap up the match. Yeah, umpire making sure that the batter is ready, and in comes Aryan. Nice shot, flicked it off his pads just for a single. It's the wicketkeeper who's doing the chasing. They don't look to take the second, so just a single taken. It's been a quiet over, just 5 runs coming off it. Nice shot, but straight back to the bowler. That's the end of Aryan's spell. He's been exceptional. 4 overs for 15 and picked up 3 wickets. And what Knight Riders need from here to win is 13 runs from 18 balls. So we have Kinder now bowling his second over. This one was hit straight to the fielder. So 13 needed from 17. Once again, straight to the fielder on the onside. So 2 dot balls. 13 needed from 16. Flicked it on the onside. Straight to the fielder. They only get a single for that. In comes the throw. It's a nice throw. Score now moves on to 99 for Knight Riders. Straight to the fielders there. So it's good fielding, good field placements, I would say, by the St. John's captain. We've had 3 dot balls in the over. Just a single. 12 needed from 14. This time on the onside, more towards mid-on. There's a fielder converging on it. They just take the single and wait. They don't want to take chances and get a run out here. So every run brings them closer. Knight Riders get to the 3-figure mark. It's 100 for the loss of 8 wickets. He's hit that on the onside, but straight to the fielder again. Deep mid-wicket coming into action. Just a single. The ball comes back. Nice little throw. 101 for 8. Knight Riders need 10 runs from 12 balls. It's a big shot. That's a 6. That's an amazing shot by Ahmed under pressure. That brings the target down to just 4 runs now needed from 11 balls. What a match we are having here. Knight Riders on the brink of victory. Shyam Sundar is the bowler. He also picked up a couple of wickets. Oh, that's a big heave there on the onside. Completely missed it by Ahmed. But he still has 10 balls. He can be choosy in terms of picking the right ball to get the 4 runs. And St. John's may be wondering, where did they go wrong? Nice shot, flicked it off his pads again, straight to the fielder. Just a single taken, so three runs needed. Just 3 runs needed for Knight Riders. Nicely pierced it on the offside, just for a single again, so just 2 runs needed from 8 balls. What are we witnessing? That 6 just turned the whole match. The first ball of the over by Shyam Sundar. Umpires making sure before the ball is bowled. Yeah. 2 runs from 8 balls. Is it that straight back past the bowler? That's a boundary, and Knight Riders have won the match. What a way to finish the match. They were 6 wickets down at one point of time. It looked like a big hole they are in, and they are not looking to come out of it. But what a comeback. That 7th wicket partnership and the 8th wicket partnership doing it for them. And we have Knight Riders who are winning this by 2 wickets. So that's the Knight Riders batting card. It's Kamal who made the difference along with Noman, and towards the end it was Ahmed Mirza who scored 22 runs of 18 balls and remains not out. So it's Ahmed and Mansoor who've taken them across the line. And St. John's would definitely think and ponder about it. So they were 32 for the loss of 6 wickets, and they won the match from there. This is the bowling card. It was Aryan, the pick of the bowlers, 4 overs, 3 wickets, 15 runs in that. He was economical with 3.75. And everybody else at the beginning were picking up wickets. Shyam Sundar picked up a couple. Taranpreet Brar picked up a couple of wickets. Om Prakash has taken a wicket, but towards the end it was Knight Riders who finished it off with 7 balls to spare. What a comeback. There are the 2 teams having the customary shake of hands. What a game this has been for St. John's as well as Knight Riders. And finally, Knight Riders have points on the board after they lost the match in the mornings, and Taib Kiani is the player of the match. That's the match summary for you. It was Arsh who did all the bulk of the scoring along with Hussain. And then no one really stick around there, and they ended up with 110 in 20 overs. And Knight Riders, oh my God, they were 36 for 6, and it looked like the match is done and dusted. But what a game by Kamal and Noman, and then the partnership with Noman and Ahmad, and it just turned it on its head. That has been the turning point of the match. And here we are. Knight Riders win the game by 7 balls to spare. And we've just witnessed an absolute classic here at the Inland Large Cricket Ground. This is Desmond DaCosta signing off. That's the points table. If we can quickly take a look. And finally, as I said, Knight Riders have points on the board. But it'll be interesting to see how day 2 goes in the tournament. But yeah, as I just mentioned, this is Desmond DaCosta signing off from Inland Large Cricket Ground. Thank you to all our viewers, and looking forward to day 2 of this excellent tournament, Smash and Grab T20 2025. Thank you.